Hey, I'm recording. Good evening, everybody. My name is Elnathan, and I'm with the Financial Empowerment Initiative. It's a nonprofit that is based out of Edmonton and Calgary. And what we do is provide financial literacy information to the community. This is the very first um, webinar we are having. It's a six-part series of financial literacy information being disseminated to the community, and to the hope and to the purpose that people at the end of this six-part series understand financial literacy and impact their lives and obtain financial independence or financial empowerment. That is the goal. That is our purpose. That is what we want to achieve and accomplish here. Today will be a short session because this is the very first one. We were on vacation through the summer, so this is our coming back from the summer, and so this is us trying to get back into the school of things. So thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you being here. I hope that at the end of this session, you're able to learn a lot, ask questions, and get a good idea of what we are about. Let me know if I'm speaking fast or if I'm not clear, and I will slow down and repeat myself. So content, what we're accomplishing today, who we are, what we do, what to expect. Why should you be financially literate? Why BIPOC Canadians feel? Some questions to think about and, a takeaway action. So who we are, we're formerly known as LCC Media Foundation. So we are initially started out as LCC Media Foundation, Ladies Corner Canada Media Foundation. And then we rebranded this year to the Financial Empowerment Initiative. Our focus even then was financial literacy, and we did a lot with that, but we thought that the name might be a bit confusing, and so we branded ourselves to the Financial Empowerment Initiative. Established in 2019, we're based out of Edmonton and Calgary. We are Black owned and we are Black led. We are also very grassroots. So what that means is we hear what people are saying and we understand the real challenges out there when it comes to financial literacy. And we try to build our programming to support those kinds of issues that we hear in the grassroots level. Our mission is to work collaboratively to remove shackles of ignorance from our communities. And that's what we want to do, to provide the knowledge so that when you have the knowledge, you can make the right decisions. Who we are, we're a team of accountants willing to support you. So the Financial Empowerment Initiative, works with a bunch of grassroots organizations, and part of them are accountants. And when you add the combined years of our knowledge and experience, we have over 40 years of combined industry experience in doing accounting, taxes, financial literacy, debt management, just solid common sense advice to help you achieve your level of financial literacy that you're looking for, or financial independence. We also do bookkeeping. So this is just giving you a bit of our experience, basically what qualifies us to offer financial literacy advice. We have the experience, we have the know-how. And if I don't know it personally, one of the 6 or 7 presenters in this series would have an answer to the question that you might have. What we do, once again, the term financial literacy, that is basically what we do. That's our focus. We run a community free tax clinic every year. We've done this since 2019 successfully, and we do that out of Calgary and out of Edmonton. And what that is basically means is we set up and we have people come in and we train volunteers to come in to do taxes for the community for free, personal taxes for low-income people or modest income people. We typically don't turn anybody away except you make $1 million, and that's where you need a team of tax lawyers, not us. So we do that free taxes at our location out in Edmonton, the Africa Center in Edmonton, and at the Calgary Full Gospel Church out in Calgary. And we do that for the tax season. And while we do the community tax clinic, we realized that people ask a lot of questions, and we felt that the best way to address some of those questions is to have these classes. So these classes are born out of the need for the financial literacy information that came from us dealing with people one-on-one in the tax clinic. Another thing we do is the Life and Money podcast. And it's a podcast that we put out periodically talking about life and money. And honestly, you'll be amazed at what the kind of questions that we answer. Everything is fair game. We discuss it, we are honest, we are real as people of color, as immigrants, as people who are new to this environment. We talk about debt, credit, consumerism, shopping, where to get sale, how to handle certain situations. We bring in experts, we bring in people that can help you, give you a different perspective. It's really informative. You should listen. Also, then the financial literacy webinars. This is what we're doing right now. We also have a Black women entrepreneurs, and this is a subset of our financial literacy that we do for people, women who have businesses. So we have webinars every Wednesdays where we discuss financial literacy, business ideas, business tools for success, business plan, funding, name it. You're a woman, you're an entrepreneur, you want to learn about business, how to be better, join us. You learn a lot. We have a course curriculum for 6 or 9 months for this also that we follow. So it's not just unguided knowledge, it's directed and it's targeted to your success and to your growth. And of course, we do training for the tax clinic. So we train our volunteers to know how to prepare taxes, to be able to deal with every kind of scenario, indigenous situations, freshly out of incarceration situation, divorce situation, every kind of situation. We're able to train for it in part of the training that we do. The training will soon come up and starts in September, in October, and we start training our volunteers for the tax clinic. So that's what we do. What do you expect in this curriculum, in this financial literacy series? I mentioned it's a 6-part series. 1, budgeting. And yes, we will mandate that you create your own budget. You must create a budget. That's one of the takeaways here. You will look at your family situation and you create your budget, and you'll be shocked at what you will learn. It's either you will discover that you need to increase your earning capacity, go make more money, or you need to reduce your cost. Like, we're going to mandate that you create a budget. So this is going to be very, very hands-on. You're not just going to sit down and listen. You're going to create your own, you're going to participate in your own growth, in your own knowledge gain in this class. You're going to analyze your cost of living. Are you spending money where you should not be spending money? To some people, is that $3 cup of coffee? To some people, it might not be the cup of coffee that you're drinking. You might be shopping. You might be sending money back to Africa. You are going to analyze your cost of living. You're going to talk about it. You're going to break it down, and you're going to be honest with yourself. We'll talk about it. You will do the work. Whatever you do is confidential to you. There's no judgment in this class, but it's really eye-opening. Every time we've done this exercise, you'll be surprised at what you will learn. Also, credit and debt management. We do not give, we're not debt counselors, so we cannot help you reduce your debt. What we can do is help you analyze it and show you the true cost. Some people have credit cards, they don't know how much the balance is. Some people don't even know how much they're spending on interest. Some people don't even know how to read their credit card statements, right? And that's important. Also, some people don't even understand the need of monitoring or managing their credits. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a second house, you want to buy a car, you need to know what your credit is, you need to know what your debt ratios are, because those things matter. Another thing we're going to do in this class is savings, learning the art of savings, creating a savings plan. Once again, we're very hands-on. You're going to participate deeply in your own financial literacy growth. You're going to set financial goals in this class also. So you're going to come with your goals, what you want to accomplish in 3 months and 6 months and 9 months and 1 year. You might want to set goals also for your children. If you have adults or teenagers in your house, you might want to start teaching them, financial literacy, how to put money away, how to budget, how to save. Another thing we're going to teach you is protecting yourself. How do you protect yourself from scam? Every once in a while, you get those calls where somebody's calling you and say, we're about to deliver a Canada Post package to your house, or you get a call from somewhere. Protecting yourself could also be, how do you talk to the CRA, right? How do you deal with a question from the CRA? How do you position yourself so that the CRA is not auditing you? If they audit you, do you have the knowledge and the information to give to them? And then, of course, there's also we're going to talk about insurance coverage. What is the biggest issue with insurance? Why don't people want it? Life insurance, vehicle insurance, home insurance. We're going to discuss the importance and why you need that. And then we're going to, of course, show you ongoing knowledge. Nobody ever stops learning. I don't know anything. I don't know everything. I don't know it all, right? And so we're going to talk about ongoing knowledge and how to brush up and where and what to subscribe to get you to where you need to go. So in the 6 weeks that we're going to be together, but it's going to be an intimate class. We're going to understand and we're going to now learn a lot from each other. And please feel free to bring your own ideas, your thoughts. If you have any resources that you might be aware of, please feel free to share with us and even members of the class. Why learn about financial literacy? You might wonder why, what is the point? Is it not money? I go to work, I make the money, I have enough of it now. Well, control your financial future. Some people who had jobs last year don't have jobs today. If you look at how the market is going in terms of, even if you live in Calgary, rent is tripling. They're thinking of rent control. You can't buy property as easily as you could buy before because of, prime. The interest rate is now, what I checked it today, 7.2 is prime, percent is prime. So at the end of the day, financial literacy helps you to learn to control your financial future, right? You're going to achieve your life goals. Some of us have goals. I want to visit Australia. I want to send my children to college. I want to buy a plot of land on the moon. If you don't plan for it, right, you're going to fail at it. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Simple. Provide for yourself and your family. One of the things that comes to my mind is when COVID happened and, the government had to step in quickly because lots of people could not afford to feed themselves. There's a lot of food subsidies. There was a lot of financial subsidies because most people are one paycheck away from being broke, being homeless. And so financial literacy gives you the tools to not be that person. The government, and God bless Canada, they will step in from time to time. But you know what? What if they don't, right? Be a smart consumer. It's better to know how to shop. Like a lot of times you find yourself going to the stores and you're buying things. Is it really necessary to buy all the things? You really need that 10th pair of shoe, while learning about financial literacy, you sleep better, right? Once you know you are secured financially, when you have money, things just sound, you feel better. I know when I have money, I get paid, I'm like, yeah, there's money. And then when I pay my bills, I'm like, and of course, manage your debt. One of the biggest things about financial literacy is have better relationships. They say 75% of marriage breakage is finances, it's money. A lot of things center around the money. A lot of things center around money. Children are unhappy because daddy can't afford, mommy can't afford, husbands and wives are quarreling because there's different expectations in terms of how to manage finances, right? So a lot of it stems from not having the proper financial literacy information to back the decision up, and so we're hoping that by giving this information, teaching this class, mindsets are changed and your finances are better and you live a healthier and a wholesome life. Need for financial literacy in the community. We're seeing as a grassroots organization that this is necessary. I've talked about that in the last slide. Lack of financial knowledge has a multi-generational adverse effect. You'll be shocked that if you make a mistake, most likely your children will make that mistake, right? A lot of the issues that we're seeing is people come here from different country. The financial system in their home country is different, and so they live that way here, and then they perpetuate the same kind of mistakes they perpetuated or they've lived with, and because of that, poverty just keeps going on and on. And they tell you it used to be that when you relocated, they'll say, go be a cab driver. I'm not saying being a cab driver is bad. I'm just saying they'll say, well, be a cab driver, that's where the money is, or go be a nurse. But people are beginning to break off that mold and say, no, not necessarily. I can do other things, it doesn't have to be that one thing, because it's what you're told. Most people do what they're told, right? And so if you don't have the proper financial knowledge, you can't pass that on to your generation, to your family, right? Smarter people make better choices. This is good for the economy. If you're smart, you make better choices, pretty much. Another need for financial literacy was seen is the barrier to accessing credit for BIPOC population due to language, the culture, financial exclusion. People, when they relocate here, come from a different culture, don't even speak the language. To sit in front of a bank and say you want a credit card, or you want to start a business, or you want to buy a house, you are scared. Yeah, because you don't even know how that is. I have seen people who have the option of having RRSPs in their organizations ignore RRSP because they have no idea what it is. They don't understand how to use it. They don't even get it. People right now, the government is giving people the opportunity to save for their first house by having a tax-free house savings account. I'm messing up the name right now, but something like that. But people don't even know what that is about. People don't understand it, and because of that, they're not going to access a benefit that can help them, right? And so that's part of the reasons why we're here, and why we need financial literacy generally, the first-time home buyers account. And also, they need to be held accountable. I have here in green, everybody suffers when you can't make proper financial decisions. Everybody suffers. You get a credit card. If you don't know how to spend your credit card, you get the credit card, you spend it poorly, you run up a balance. If they have to write it off, the organization suffers. You have a mortgage, you can't pay your mortgage. Somebody's going to get it. The bank is going to have to foreclose on it, God forbid. Everybody suffers if you don't have financial literacy. You suffer, your family suffers, the environment, the community, the economy, everybody suffers. Nobody really gains when you make poor decisions. And where BIPOC Canadian feels, and BIPOC, for those of us who don't know, is Black, Indigenous, and people of color. That's a term used to describe certain people who fit into the group. It's not derogatory. It's just saying that because of our maybe ethnicity or color, where we're from, we've not had the same accesses, right? And so a lot of BIPOC Canadians don't plan for their retirement. They work and work and work and work and work, and they don't even put any money away. One, because they didn't care for RRSP. Two, because they didn't even know about it. Send a lot of people send money back to their home countries with the hope of going back home to retire, and then they get back home and they realize that the money they've been sending home, the bad economy in their home country has eaten it up. Point in case, we've had horror stories of people who send money back to, say, Africa, Nigeria, to build houses for them, and then they get back home and the house is not there, and they're out of the money. Investment fraud. People try to do this, maybe gets rich quick scheme. What's that? Used to be where people will invest and they'll say, put money here and you get this amount of money, like a tree, pyramid schemes, and they fall into problems, right? Money management, that's a big deal. And one of the things we're going to try and do in this class is to teach proper money management, financial discipline, fiscal discipline, financial responsibility. Another big things where BIPOC Canadian feels is tax planning. There's this idea out there that tax planning is for the rich, is for the Donald Trumps and for the Elon Musks. No, it's for everybody, Because if you don't plan properly, you will end up paying money back. I have seen this so many times when somebody who is making 40,000 in one company and then goes and do another overtime job and makes 30,000 the other company, and then when it's time for taxes, they haven't taken out enough taxes in both companies, and then tax time they are paying money back because you didn't plan properly. Little things like that, and I've seen people pay single people who are still below the income threshold, who are still considered modest income, are paying money back to the government. Why? Because they didn't plan their taxes. A lot of people go to churches, they do not give they give charitable donations, but they don't fill out the charitable donation slips. So when it's come taxes, you get some of that money back, but because you don't plan by filling out the slips, you lose that money. And so on, so much, and so on and so forth, right? Individuals who learn about financial literacy early on are likely to be adequately prepared for retirement, and they're going to live better lives. They sleep better at night when you know that you have some money saved up. So it doesn't matter what happens, you have something to rely on. You're not begging, you're not out. You do sleep well. It reduces your blood pressure. Another reason why BIPOC Canadians fail, financial exclusion is a reason, and that is when people are unable to access financial services, such as open current accounts or savings accounts and other beneficial services, because they are deemed to high risk. So you show up here and your situation is just dire. So you are financially excluded. And what can you do without finances? Nothing. Honestly, nothing. Financial awareness, just lack of proper knowledge, not even knowing the kind of one of the things we'll talk about in this class is, banking, for example. What kind of bank accounts are out there? Which one do you open? Where do you go? Little things like that you might think is nothing, but makes a difference on the long run. I hope there's a question. Sorry, does anybody have a question? I hope there is no questions, what I'm trying to say. If you have any questions, you can raise up your hand or just interrupt, and I'll be happy to answer you. Some questions to think about, to look about your financial health. In the last 6 months, were you ever behind or 2 or more consecutive months in paying a bill? Were you ever behind in 2 or more consecutive months in making a loan payment? You've been behind on your mortgage. In the last 12 months, how well are you and your family have been keeping up with your bills? Are you financially prepared for retirement? Do you have a good idea of how much money you need to save to maintain the desired standard of living? Where do you get your financial information from? So these are some questions to just think about. If you're behind on your bills, or if you're behind on your loan payments, or if you're behind on your mortgage, it's time to take a look at that situation and see how you can handle that. One of the greatest disservice you can do to yourself is not paying attention or ignoring it. The bills will keep piling up. It's not going to go away, right? It's not going to go away. You're going to need to deal with it. And it's easier to start now, little by little, eventually to come around. But ignoring your financial situation is a very big recipe for disaster. So what is financial literacy after all? I've said financial literacy about 1,000,000 times, but our definition for financial literacy is defined as the combination of financial awareness, what you know, the knowledge, the skills, and the behaviors to manage your money or financial resources effectively and efficiently. Notice I said financial awareness. So you need to know the knowledge, skills, right, and the behavior. So you can have financial awareness and knowledge, skills, and not have the behavior. It's all wasted. Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to what you do, the choices you make, how you actually see yourself, and the goals you set, right? And so our definition of financial literacy is the combination of all this working together, right? The financial awareness, the knowledge, the skills, and even the behavior, right? You might have a good behavior, but you don't have the skills, right? You don't know how to, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to say when you get in front of the banker, right? Proper financial literacy is characterized by proper financial decision making. You got to know how to make the right decisions. So somebody comes and offers you something, you have to be able to say yes or no, because it might not be right for you at that time, right? If you are if you are financially literate, you're going to achieve financial independence. And what is financial independence? The ability to live the kind of life you want to without worrying about your finances, right? Imagine going to the store and being able to buy what you want to buy without thinking, is it going to bounce, or is my credit card going to fail, or how am I going to pay this money back? Ability to, maybe if you need to stay home with your family for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, be able to do that without worrying about where the next bill payment will come from, right? It all comes from having a financial plan. It all comes from being financially literate. Proper financial literacy is characterized by having a retirement plan, a budget, and a savings plan. If you are financially literate, you understand the importance of a retirement plan. You understand the importance of a budget, a family budget, a savings budget, a marketing budget, something that itemizes what you need, what you spend, and how you're going to cover the shortfall. And a savings plan, you have to save. There's got to be you putting money away somewhere in the RRSP, in the TFSA, in the savings account, under your bed, under your pillow. There's got to be a savings plan. And of course, building generational wealth. There's no need to build all this money and not be able to do something for yourself, for your community, or for your family. Yeah, so financial literacy is once again a combination of financial awareness, skills, the knowledge, and the behavior to manage your financial resources, money, effectively and efficiently. That definition is very powerful. And I think we're getting almost to the end of my presentation today. Action. Our greatest joy, my greatest joy will be to see you act on this information. Having you here makes us happy, but seeing you financially well is our greatest fulfillment. Please make a commitment to yourself and your family to use this information for your benefit. We want you and your family to thrive. It's all about you and the family. It's not about just you. It's about your family, your children, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sisters, your children. So at the end of the day, there's no point investing the time here if you are not going to do something about your financial state. If you are feeling that you're good at it, you can be better. If you think you're better, you can be best, right? The sky is only the beginning, right? So we implore you, make a commitment to yourself. Our takeaway from today, make a commitment to yourself that you will do everything required of you. You will learn more and you will gain information. This is only the beginning. There's so much more you can do. There's so much more you can learn. And it's important that you know that. We have some comments here. I hear this is a very important behavior, is a very important component. Knowledge is great. The application of knowledge to secure the desired result is way better. I agree with you, Dotson. Thank you for saying that.
I just looked at that definition, and that the behavior component of it really got me. Yes. Because knowledge, fantastic, excellent. Skills, beautiful. Awareness, wow. But if you take the behavior out, all that stuff is just fluff. It becomes air. But if you add the behavior to the awareness, the knowledge and skill is the difference between night and day. And I like the way you just wrapped up with us the need to just take action, irrespective of where you are, whether you are under a burden of debt and you're trying to get under it, or whether your credit score is still 900, or whether you don't even have a credit score because the credit system does not even know you yet. The important thing is that choose the behaviors that set you up for long-term financial well-being. That's the essence of this. Tayo, thanks for sharing this.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I appreciate that. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank everybody who has been here for us, who has come to listen. You guys are the best. You're great. Once again, we are the Financial Empowerment Initiative and we do financial literacy. If you want to reach us, you know what? I didn't put our contact information on the slides. I can share that later. If you like that, send me your email in the chat.
Can you put it in the chat? Website, email address.
Okay, I
Phone
will do
number.
that. I will we'll put it there. So if you want to reach us, you can reach us. Question: in applying everything I take action, how do you manage costs in the current inflationary environment? If you're in a long-term arrangement and get debits every month, you can hardly escape from. So I'm going to ask that question again. I'm not reading properly. In applying everything, i.e. taking action, how do you manage costs in the current inflationary environment? How do you manage costs in the current inflationary environment? If you're in a long-term arrangement and get debits every month, how can you can hardly escape from? Okay, so that's an interesting question. Long-term arrangements. One, the good thing is the awareness of it. You know that you are there and you know that you're trying to get out of it. That's the first one I would say. Good, you have the awareness. Two, I'm going to look at all my arrangements to see if there's anything I can shift or I can move or I can refinance on.
Call Telos, get them to reduce your phone bill.
So sometimes you might call them, listen, like Tochun just says, that you might be needing to make some calls. You might go visit your bank manager, your account manager, and ask the question, what can you do for me? In terms of maybe mortgage or debt transfer or consolidation or things like that. You might sell something off. Some of us might have high interest cars. Some of you got a brand new car, you're paying on it. Maybe you can't afford that car. Maybe you can downgrade for a little bit. You get your financial situation sorted, right? You might think of things like that, doing some radical things for a little while till you're back on your feet. You might you might try to refinance if that would work, sell some things off. I think sometimes in this situation, if you cannot cut costs, you go to increase your earning capacity. So how can you increase your earning capacity? Where can you make more money? What can you do? What creative ways can you make money? Taking a second job, um, um, maybe trying one of this, Uber apps, Instacart, Uber, things like that. Increasing your earning capacity is important. I think we might have a session on how to increase your earning capacity, what you can do, ideas, thoughts, changing things around. There's nothing we're going to tell you here that will not, new career in tech, somebody's saying, there's nothing we're going to tell you here that is going to be easy. So let's prepare our minds. Changing requires hard work, right? So when I'm saying increase your earning capacity, it's easy for me to say increase your earning capacity, but in reality, you might have to maybe learn a new skill, right? Maybe go to school, maybe stay up at night to read so that you can, or maybe after your first job, you're running outside to deliver some Uber this and Uber that, right? So that you can pay. But the key is if you set a goal, for example, if you have 3 or 4 credit cards and you set a goal, you pay the smallest one first, you do a job, you pay it, you set that goal. Little by little, you're going to chip away at some of these things that is affecting you, right? So what to wrap up, what are the questions, what are the solutions? Have the conversations. If it's Telos, call them. If it's Shaw, call them. If it's Roger, maybe go to Fido or go to Wind, right? So those things, you might think it's small, but those are little ways of chipping at it. Two, if you have a high interest car, if you have you might sell it off. I don't know. I just example, it doesn't have to be a car, but what I'm saying is you might want to downgrade or downsize. You might want to downsize. Another thing you can do is, speak to your account managers and tell them, look, listen, what can you do for me? How can we refinance or restructure this? Right. And then what was the last thing I said? increase your earning capacity, see how you can make more money, see how you can make more income. I have another comment here that says, so the approach to the current inflation is getting more income. I don't know that I'm talking about the entire inflation, rather I'm saying in your situation, you might have to assess that might be necessary for your situation, right? Inflation is there and we're all struggling with inflation. Prime interest rate is high, right? For me, it might not be income, it might be cutting costs, right? It's one or two things. Either you cut costs, be more financially, tight on yourself, or you go and increase the earning capacity. When there's more money, costs really don't matter. It's because there's not enough money. That's why we look at the costs, if you understand what I mean. So you have to look at your own situation. One of the activities we're going to have in this class is that all budgets in or analyzing our financial situation, right? Your spending patterns and those are kind of things. You write it down, you analyze, you take a look at it, and you worry, and you look at it, and you analyze, and you're honest with yourself to see where you are at. I hope that helps. I hope that was sufficient in my answer. So once again, I think, does anybody have any more questions? No? I'm going to go ahead and thank you all for coming once again. I appreciate this opportunity to have shared this. It's going to be a good journey. We're going to have a great time together. So please stick with us, stay with us, and let us impact you as you impact us also. Thank you very much. My name is Elnathan, and I am from the Financial Empowerment Initiative, and I will share our contacts in the chat shortly. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. I'm going to stop recording now. I'm stopping the sharing, and I'm going to stop the recording now.